And we're going to talk about the next movie right now, which, so we did watch separately. We're going to talk about Creed 2, the movie that released, a week and a half ago?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Which stars Anthony B. Jordan as...
How about Michael B. Jordan?
Or Michael B. Jordan? That's okay, my bad, sorry. I don't know why I say Anthony. Who plays as Adonis Creed, right? Who is obviously Apollo Creed. I like the first movie is like kind of fresh in my mind as well, so I'm kind of talking like it's like I watched it right before I watched the second one.
He's a bastard child.
Yes,
Should be Adonis Snow.
But anyways, what was I talking about? Jesus,
Michael B. Jordan.
Yes, so Michael B. Jordan. This is basically what was it, like a year after or two the first one? Would you say?
I'd say like 2 to 3 probably.
Yeah, 2 to 3 years after this, and he won. Basically, the beginning of the movie starts with him winning the heavyweight title, and then all this like whole train of just news of him, becoming like a father, like him and his longtime girlfriend, which I forgot her name.
Bianca something.
Bianca, but her actual.
Tessa Thompson.
Tessa Thompson. There you go. Then they found out that she's pregnant, which is kind of funny how they found out. You have to watch a movie to find out how they found out. But they're like, we'll work through this. Love you, kisses, and then they get engaged as well. And then we find out. Also, the movie begins with the other side, the protagonist, which is what's his name? His son.
Antagonist.
What's his actual name? The son's name?
The actor's name?
Yeah. No. Like the character's name.
Oh, Victor Drago.
Yeah, Victor Drago, who is Ivan Drago's son. And then we find out, we see him in the beginning, and then basically it's like an immovable object versus an unstoppable force kind of like thing to build up to the fight, which took a while to actually get to, which was like the part of the movie.
Really?
Well, I mean, kind of in a way. Like after, like when you get all the news, and then she has the baby, I think, right? No. Did she have the baby after or before the fight?
She had the baby after the first fight.
Okay. So after the first fight. So basically a whole year they were waiting for him to...
Because she was pregnant when he was in the hospital.
Yeah, technically, like in the actual storyline, she was like almost a year after to like build up to the fight. And like, who are you going to fight next, basically? And then he told Rocky, who is Sylvester Stallone's character, obviously everyone knows that, but like, yeah, I'm going to take this fight. Are you with me or not me? He's like, I'm not gonna do it again. I'm not gonna I forgot what he said, like I'm not gonna watch someone die again or something like that.
Well, he was saying like I forget the phrase that Adonis used, and he said like that's exactly what your father said, and he died right here in these hands.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so they basically kind of part, and kind of like ugly the departure of them two, because they've been together obviously for the first movie, and they kind of connected. And then you see him, what's it called? Basically go through the fight on his own, but he uses his dad's son. His dad's trainer's son is his trainer, so they're back together, I guess. I forgot the guy's name.
I don't remember the son's name.
Yeah,
either.
the son's name. But like basically it's like a team up again of like the original Apollo team. And they go to the fight, and he basically gets murdered. He almost dies, but it was a DQ, so it kind of made sense. Like, I thought they were kind of clever with that. Like, they didn't like knock him out, but also like he was on his one knee, so it kind of like, they're gonna have to fight again. So that was nice to kind of like not have that hole in a way. And then we basically see a redemption of him coming out of the hospital. Rocky visits him, and he's like, "What are you doing here? What are you doing?" Wait, no, is his left eye?
Yeah, it was his left eye.
Like, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? And then you basically see like them patch their relationships kind of slowly, eventually, and then she has a baby, and then that's when they kind of like reconnect. By that time, they're already like kind of training in a way. And then they're like, okay, we're gonna do this now, and like that was like when like, okay, the big wheels are on the train, and you know they did some kind of like what was it, Rocky 3? Similar to like Rocky 3?
Yes.
When Rocky Balboa...
Because he gets the crap out of him by Clubber Lang, and then
Yeah, and then
like
Mr.
comes back to.
But like the training's why it's just like when he went to go train before the fight, he's like, "Look, you see what these guys had? That's what you had. But you don't like because I saw them in their eyes, because they're so hungry, and like they're like you kind of saw that in a way. I kind of saw that similarity to when they went out to the desert, obviously, and trained. But you kind of saw that the guy that was like the first guy you saw who he, like knocks out. Eventually, you kind of see like him kind of having like, what do you, I want what you have, kind of in a way. And then yeah, they basically train. He has this moment where he's like running in the middle of the road in the desert and like, oh, and then oh no, when he got back up, he falls and he's like, get up, kid. And then he gets up and he keeps running and he has his own Rocky moment again. And then yeah, you basically get up to the fight. The kid's there, obviously. Or no, the kid's not there, but his mom's there again. And then they fight, and it was like 6 rounds? I believe maybe 6, 7. I don't even know. Maybe it was like 1 round away from
it. Was more. I think it was a little
like
bit
11.
I think it was like 10 or 11.
Okay. Well, basically, you have to watch it. We don't want to spoil that part, but you basically have to watch it. So yeah, he had to win in a certain way to actually win the fight, and he did. Oh, actually no, he actually won the fight by the towel. But this time,
which was ironic.
Yeah, so it was ironic. So you have to kind of watch, obviously, the fourth one, Rocky 4, to kind of get the context of all this. I would definitely recommend obviously watch all of them, but if you don't have the time, just watch Rocky.
You can skip 5, it's okay.
Yeah, just watch Rocky 4, and then you can definitely watch 1, or if you already seen Creed 1, you're fine, but you'll get the context of Creed 2 if you never watched Rocky 4. But yeah, so he basically wins, he retains his title, and the kind of nod at the end there where he was like looking down at Rocky, was like, yo, dude, you gonna come up and celebrate? He's like, no, it's your time. I thought that was like kind of like nice in a way, but who knows what the next movie is gonna be.
Is there gonna be a next one?
I think so.
Where do they go with it?
I don't know
exactly. See, I think that this is gonna be I think this might be the last of the Rocky movies.
Maybe.
I think they've already announced. I know this is not really related, but like there's another Rambo movie coming, and like that's gonna be the last Rambo movie. I almost feel like Sylvester Stallone's like working up towards retirement, basically.
He's like 75.
No, I know, but like
no, but I was just saying like I'm gonna work up to be retired at 75.
Well, I mean like Clint Eastwood's 98.
Yeah, but Clint Eastwood's a man.
Okay. All right, then. So I think that I just there's not an obvious path for Creed 3 without what are you gonna do now? Go get Clubber Lang's son?
No, I think what they're gonna do.
Michael B. Jordan becomes the trainer.
No. They're gonna. I think they would do what they did in Cars, the latest Cars. If you ever watch the latest Cars, or maybe it might stretch. I think the Rocky might not be in the next one. They might just like. I think it would be nice, or I mean not nice. I mean it's not nice, but like kind of have like the next one just starts with him at like Rocky's funeral, or maybe passes away, which would be kind of unfortunate. But no, this is the way it's set up. Like, or I'm thinking like maybe, and then he's like, and then Anthony B. Jordan's at the tail end of his career or something like that. Michael B. Jordan. Jeez, I don't know why I call him Anthony, but Michael B. Jordan, which is Adonis Creed, is maybe at the tail end of his career. Maybe this is like 5 years down the line from today, actual now.
Okay. I was gonna say he probably needs to get a little bit older.
Yeah,
to sell that. Yeah.
But regardless, I'm saying like he gets a little bit older and he kind of like, should I stay in the game or not? Like maybe he's been like winning like this last couple of fights by like a needle, or by a needle thread, whatever you call it. And he's like, wow, should I really throw this in? And then maybe you introduce like another character too, and then eventually. Like he gets knocked down or something. I don't know. They have to do it where they did in Cars, where they kind of like McQueen becomes the coach or like the driver in there, or I guess whatever you call it.
Okay.
In a way, so it kind of like you can keep on moving on, I guess, if they wanted the ability to move on with Adonis.
I really don't know that I want anything like that.
But no, I'm saying like if like the actual movie studio, I think that would be the best way. If like the movie studio wanted to like continue to make money off of this. I think that would be the best way to do it. But maybe just have like another one where he just meets another guy that just maybe has gone through more crap than him in a way, like through like like an inner city guy in a way. I don't know. They would have to figure it out. I think they could. I'm not saying I want any more of it, but I'm saying it from if it actually is gonna come out. I hope the story has some substance to it. You guys know what I'm saying?
I don't think you can off-screen kill Rocky.
They could though. I think that would be.
He deserves better than that.
He deserves. I mean, yes and no. Because do you want to see him on screen dying?
Depends on how they do it.
What's I'm saying though, like if they do it wrong, like you have the chance of them doing it wrong, and it's like wow, like
Yeah. I guess, but as far as Creed 2 is concerned, I really enjoyed this movie. I don't think it's quite as good of a movie as the first one.
Yeah, the first one was definitely better. That's why I told you. I told you that.
But I definitely still like really enjoyed watching this movie. I think that they did a really good job again with like the relationship between Adonis and Rocky. Really the character development with basically everyone. I really liked how they tied in his adopted mother, well, like Apollo's wife. I'm blanking on her name right now. Marianne Creed, which is Apollo's wife, but not Adonis's birth mother. But like she's been the one that raised him. She adopts him like pretty early on in the first first Creed.
Yeah, 'cause you see him fighting in like a school.
Right, yeah. So shout out to Felicia Rashad. She's the one who plays Adonis's mother. I think she did a really great job. I think there were a lot of really powerful moments, especially when they had that conversation about him taking the fight and how just like for both her and for Rocky at various points in this movie, how much still like Apollo's death weighs on them. Especially, and like that same conversation when he told Rocky about that he needed to take the fight, and he said that like Apollo died right here in his hands, and like the other things that he admits to thinking about, like how like it was supposed to be him that took the fight against Ivan Drago the first time, and like he like backed out and Apollo took his spot, and then Apollo died, and like the guilt that he feels over that. And so I just think there were a lot of really powerful moments, and they used that. I mean, basically nostalgia-driven storyline really effectively. This was a very formulaic movie.
Yeah, I think...
And, like, you can definitely see where this movie's going to go, but I think they still did a really good job. Like, it still connects with you emotionally.
Yeah, because I think movies that have done this kind of thing where they use some kind of storyline from, like, back from that time and to adapt it to this, they've been done very well, actually. I've been very surprised.
For me, this is, like, the Force Awakens of the Rocky franchise. It's basically the same story as like kind of Rocky 3 and Rocky 4 thrown together.
Yeah.
But like with a new generation of people. So like in that sense it's very similar to say like episode 4 and episode 7 in the Star Wars franchise, that sort of thing. But they did a really good job. I think that I don't remember the guy's name who plays Victor Drago. See if I can find his name real quick. Florian Mutano.
Okay.
I probably butchered that last name. He does a pretty good job. He doesn't obviously have like really a lot of acting sequences. It's just like the training montages and stuff like that.
I think this character is very quiet and very reserved, but also like respects his father and kind of that's why he was raised. That's not to talk very much.
Yeah, and I really liked what they did with Ivan Drago in this movie and how he progresses. I did not. Well, I won't say like I won't spoil that part, I guess. But like there were moments that I definitely didn't expect in their storyline because he does come off the whole time like when he meets with Rocky. You see this in the trailer, like when he meets with Rocky in his restaurant, and he's talking about how like he lost everything after he lost that fight, and like my boy's gonna break your boy, and like all these things, and like he has his son Victor walk in after whatever. Like how I didn't expect how Ivan Drago's character ended up to be like the end of that arc. Where it was like how like that fight ends and like how their relationship changes over the course of not changes necessarily, but like how Ivan changes, how he comes to a point where like he recognizes what's happening and like how he changes his relationship with his son to like kind of keep that alive with despite like everything else that's happening in their lives.
Okay.
So like I did really enjoy that.
Okay, so what was your favorite scene of the movie?
Real quick. Probably the scene where like Rocky and Adonis have their falling out, like that discussion outside of his apartment. That was probably that one, and then like I said, like both times when Apollo tells both Rocky and then Marianne that like he's gonna take the fight.
Okay.
Like that, I think those were my best scenes. Like both
Yeah,
of those conversations were really powerful.
Yeah. Besides those ones, I definitely enjoyed the beginning of the movie. Was good. I totally forgot that she had like a hearing
loss. Yeah.
I didn't. Notice.
I called it when like he's talking to her and she's in the bathroom before he like proposes.
Oh yeah.
I leaned over to my dad. I was like, she can't hear him.
Like I totally forgot from the first movie that she had that, and I was like, why did she like? Oh, dude, I totally forgot about that. And like I just watched the movie, like I didn't pay attention, I guess, to that part. But that was like something. And then, what was the worst scene that you saw that you thought?
I'm not really sure. I don't really have any. There aren't any scenes that stick out to me as like I really didn't like them. I thought that like the fight choreography was pretty good throughout the whole movie. Obviously, the training sequences are always pretty good in Rocky movies. Yeah, I don't. There's not. This movie doesn't have a low point for me. I don't think.
Mine was when he walks out for the last time, for the last fight when he walks out when she starts singing that song.
Oh really?
That was me cringing. I was like, what the.
I guess
that was just like, why? Like I get you're all together, but I'm like, just have like a song and come out. Like I felt like that wasn't. I feel like if that was real life, if someone came out with his wife singing, that would be kind of just weird. Just for me, like I thought of like as it, like I was watching like a real fight. And I was just like,
okay,
this seems kind of. I mean, like, the song. I guess
that I think about it, I didn't really care for that.
That was
too
like
much.
my cringe. I was like, I don't like this.
Yeah, but it's a pretty solid movie overall.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying though. That was like mine. I was just like, I just want to point that out. I was like, what the fuck?
In general, I really enjoyed the soundtrack for this, because like I'm like the Rocky soundtrack is one of the few movie soundtracks that I actually own, and so like I really enjoy that music. And
shout out to Blues Brothers.
I really enjoyed how they played like throughout the movie. You can tell they're like kind of toying with the original Rocky theme.
And then you finally hear it at the very
end. And then
end.
when he knocks down Victor for the first
like
they
I was
play
like,
it.
That's when I was like, oh, dude, I got.
That's when I was in.
I was like,
all in.
I was like, I got a boner, guys. I got a boner.
That when they finally used, and they really only used it for like 20 seconds right there, like while he's like when he gets knocked down and when he's on the mat.
So get your Russian ass on the ground.
Yeah,
boy.
so like I really enjoyed the way they just developed. Like the training sequences were really good, especially when they were out in the desert. I assume that was like Arizona or whatever. I guess could have been like Mexico. I don't know.
Oh, who knows?
But yeah, I think this was like a solid like 8 out of 10 for me. I really liked this movie.
Okay. Well, what is next after this?
Are we gonna do Undrafted or are we gonna do Pennsylvania Avenue?
Are we gonna do Undrafted after this?
Okay, let's do Undrafted.
Okay. So before we get into that, let us know in the comments down below of what you thought the movie and how you thought the movie was. If you enjoyed it or if you didn't enjoy it, let us also know if you think there's gonna be a sequel after this, and let's hear some solid reasons for that.
Yeah, where's that sequel gonna go? What is Creed 3?
Yeah, what is Creed 3? Give us a quick little synopsis of that.